Alright. Well, here we are, starting with this game. I figure I'll start with the ones that I'm involved in first, before too many people get into the stream. Because it's always weird casting yourself. Oops. Okay. So, spawning up here, we have in the red. Oh, nice, we have team colors now, so that'll be a lot easier. So, playing for the red team, we have our protest player here. It is Exiled, with his teammate. That is Siegfried. Hey, that's me. I'm not sure how to get rid of the logos. Oh well, I'm just not gonna bother. And down here in the bottom left side of the map, we have playing for the blue team. It is one of our Terran players, Quiet. And his teammate over here, another Terran player, is Purge. Alright, so Terran can be pretty strong, I feel like. But only if you go for cheeses. I think there's a lot of really nice double one-base plays you can make if you're playing Terran. So I'm really liking the like any sort of like mass Reaper builds. Like, looks like that's what we're gonna have here from Purge. He's getting double gas. So at the very least, one of them should be going for mass Reapers, or at the very least a quick factory. The other side of the map, looks like Siegfried is walling off the wrong part of the map. Nice job, me. Meanwhile, looks like Exiled going for a gate fast expand. So nothing too crazy just yet. I should also probably change my mouse settings. I'm trying to look for how to get rid of the Nah, never mind. We'll just not bother with it. Okay, so interesting. Not gonna be Mass Reaper here, I guess. Quiet going to be going for a quick factory. I don't quite see what we have yet for Purge. Quick factory as well? Okay. But those double gas are extremely early for Purge. So, as we can see, he has a lot of gas in the bank. So this would lead me to think that this is either a one-base play or he wants to be really safe. Not sure what he's going to be going for. Looks like Purge will be skating out here. We'll find the probe here of Exile. And over here, Siegfried looks like getting Cyclones. I can't remember what I got this game. It's always so weird casting games involving yourself. I'm lucky I never remember what I do. So it's almost like I'm casting someone else. Right, so Robo Facility comes down here for Exiled. And 2 Cyclones coming out here for Siegfried. Reaper of Quiet should spot this. I can't imagine seeing the reactor on the factory would indicate anything else to a Terran player. I think most of the time you would assume it's going to be Cyclones. And over here for Purge, looks like he will be getting a second factory and actually going for Blue Flame Hellions and a Siege Tank. Siege Tank's coming in from both players, actually. Quiet has not decided whether or not he's going bio or mech yet, as he only has a 1-1-1 out right now. Alright, so looks like Exiled Stalkers have found Quiet's Reaper out on the map, and that will go down just like that. And Cloak Bench is coming out here for Quiet. Both players actually on the blue side getting a bit supply blocked here, so a bit unfortunate for them. Pretty safe play out of them getting these Siege Tanks though. And they also will spot the fact that Exiled is destroying these rocks, and he does have a lot of units coming down there. We've got some Cyclones from Siegfried coming up. It looks like the blue team will just be aiming to get rid of these rocks. Now, it can be very annoying to deal with, as most players aren't going to wall this off immediately, so there's nothing stopping anything from just running up this ramp. And that's a lot of units here. 4 Cyclones, 4 Stalkers, and an Immortal. That's a lot of firepower. But if these siege tanks are in the right position, we could definitely see them take out some of these units. Unfortunately, the siege tank actually unsieges and backs off a bit at the wrong time. Not sure if that would have helped out at all, but that's a lot of units coming in. We got some siege tanks sieging up in the back there. 2 of them going down pretty much immediately. That one siege tank will get a couple more shots off, but it's going to get taken out by these cyclones and immortal very quickly. Another siege tank on the low ground. That one will get taken out as well. And we have a Banshee on the way here now too. If this can take out a lot of these cyclones, that can do some work, but looks like it's going to get picked off pretty quickly. Actually survives, but takes a lot of damage. And all these factories from Purge are actually getting completely destroyed as Immortals and Cyclones do an amazing amount of damage together. Alright, another tank pops out there. Only 1 Cyclone left alive here. Don't know if there's any more on the way, but we do have Stalkers here as well. Scan goes down, and looks like that will be the end for that Banshee. Last Cyclone is trying to get away from all these SCVs here. And GG will be called. And exiled Siegfried taking game number 1. I guess that's not the one I meant to put up. Is that one? Yeah. Okay. Don't want to spoil what, the series. So we're just going to put up a nice graphic in between so that everyone can't see what the remaining amount of games we have is. Alright, so spawning up in the top side of the map, we have in the red. It is our Protoss player. It is exiled. And along with his teammate, which is me, it is Siegfried. And the bottom side, we have in the blue. It is our Terran players, Quiet, and his teammate over here, Purge. Now, what is going on here? Looks like some proxy rack shenanigans. This is something I guess I hadn't really considered like the strength of yet, is like double proxy racks. Because you can get 8 racks out with like Marines. That's a lot of Marines. If you both go for 4 racks. Assuming that's what they go for. They could also go for 3 racks, so I'm not sure. So what's it gonna be? So it looks like it's just gonna be 3 action both players, as they've only brought 3 SCVs with them. But still, 6 racks producing Marines. That's pretty deadly. And you know, if the red team doesn't scout this, they could definitely die. Especially if I'm not sure how much. Okay, that debris has 2,000 health. That's a lot, actually. I was gonna say, like, maybe if the Marines pick away at that debris, they can get right up into the main without anyone noticing. Oh, or no, it looks like they're not gonna do it. I was like, oh, what if they float over here? Like, that'd be sick. That would be an epic mind game. So it looks like they're gonna. It's actually blocking each other there. They both tried to build buildings. I don't really like this move when you're going for 3 racks. When you're going for a 2 racks, this is fine to show your hand immediately. But I think with a 3 racks, you really want to wait a bit longer. Because as you can see, with the Reaper right here for Siegfried, like, he can just keep picking away at all these Marines as long as he keeps microing. And yeah, this definitely can be annoyed. But I really feel like the strength of these, like, you know, many proxy racks strategies is the surprise. You want a lot of Marines out as soon as you can. But that is still a lot of Marines being produced at a time here. Gonna kill one of these shield batters pretty much immediately. One is up for exile though, and that will be able to heal that zealot. These Marines doing absolutely nothing there. Finally gonna be able to kill that one zealot, but a lot of Marines have gone down for that. Stalker has 2 kills already. That Reaper has 4, actually, so these Reapers and Stalkers with some good micro are getting a lot of Marine kills. And this is tough. They can't really poke at the Stalker because it'll just move back and get healed by the shield batteries. And the Reapers will just heal by themselves, so there's not a whole lot they can do here. Finally, what they do have a bunker up at the bottom here, so this will contain the red team. But end of the day, I don't feel like this is that strong. Or that worth the investment. Crazy amount of kills on all these Reapers and Stalkers up here, actually. And we actually see a CC going down here, right in view of Exiled for Quiet. So it looks like Quiet's dead of this rush. But still, they do have the bunker, and that is a sizable amount of Marines. They can't really peek in there too much. The bunker will go down. 2 Cyclones and a lot of Stalkers will be able to take out most of these units, though. And that's pretty much all their investment gone. I mean, looks like Quiet will still continue to produce some Marines here, but Purge is completely, you know, gone home. And these Marines not gonna be able to find a good place to go here. All of them gonna get picked off. And looks like we have the Stalkers here for Exiled. Gonna head across the map. And he actually has some pylons here for some reason. I don't know what this is. Maybe for Warpins? I guess? I don't know. And there's literally nothing at the front here. We don't have a single military unit out here for Quiet and Purge. Stalkers actually get to walk right into the base. And this is what happens when you do a proxy racks and it doesn't work out very well. Stalkers are going to kill that one depot and just going to advance on into and start killing these workers. And yeah, I don't see how this is going to pan out for our blue team here. Nice try with that proxy rack, so I feel like a 2 racks or a proxy 4 racks would have suited a bit better, I feel. Or even like a 4 racks SCV pool, I feel like would have been nice. I don't know why Excel's putting those in at the low ground. Yeah, whatever. So, looks like here at the main base we do have some Marines here. Quiet actually did float his barracks into the natural there, and they will start harassing some of these SCVs, but there is some Hellions out here. And Hellions versus Marines is always a weird fight. It always reminds me of like Wings of Liberty era fights, back when they used to play like 4v4s and stuff. Because that's pretty much what would happen, is you'd have like people with like Hellions and, you know, unstinned Marines. Oh man, those are the days. I remember like back in those days I always thought like stim was bad because it like hurt your own units. I thought it was like a trade-off thing instead of like an objectively good thing. Alright, looks like these Marines are gonna still fight here in the naturals. Gonna continue to be rallied, but Hellions and Stalkers are gonna finish them off. Hellions don't even fight the Marines that well, to be honest. Alright, so it looks like that's going to be a 2-0 in favor of Siegfried and Exiled. Okay, now I guess I'll go into another game featuring myself since no one is watching. Alright, so it looks like we have in the top good luck. We have in the top side playing for the red team. It is our Protoss player. It is Exiled. That was a really nice stutter from me. And we have his teammate here in the red as well. It is Siegfried. That is me. Then bottom left, we have in the blue. It is one of our Protoss players here. This one's playing for Downfall Gaming. It is Lunif. Actually, a pretty nice logo in game. And one of our other players here, playing for Team UR. Their logo doesn't look as nice in game, I'll be honest. It's kind of cut off there. I don't really like that. It is Camaro. Alright, this should probably be a bit closer of a series than our last one. Alright, so it looks like, oh, I thought that was, okay, we do have a double gateway opener here for Exiled. Looks like Siegfried just going for, I think that was a gas first. Alright, so Fast Factory, this will probably be, oh, I just realized I am retarded, and had that image up the entire time. I guess we'll just start things off from scratch. Alright, so up at the top right, yep, that is the right. We have in a red, it is Siegfried. And his Protoss ally is Exile. Then bottom left, we have for Downfall Gaming, as I mentioned earlier. Nice logo, especially looks pretty good in game. It is Lunif. And his ally from Team Unrivaled, it is Camaro, with the not so nice looking in-game logo. Blah. Alright, so it looks like we have a Stargate opener here for one of our players. It looks like that will be for Camaro. And a 2-gate opener here from Lunif, and he will get a Stargate of his own here. Cyclones coming out here for Siegfried. And looks like double soccer out here for Exile. I'm not sure exactly what that pylon was there to do. Maybe cut the gas? Lunif for some casual banter as he notices my barracks floating across the map. I have no clue what Excel means by that. I forgot Excel said that. Alright, so this one out from Lunif will get some kills here in the mineral line. 2 probes going down. Looks like Lunif wasn't targeting it there, so actually it doesn't, or not able to get a third. Siegfried's barracks floating across the map. I'm not really gonna see anything though. Do finally have some expansions, or Lunif's expansion, sorry, finally going down. Camaro's had one up for a bit now. So let's see what our players are going for here. So, looks like Phoenix coming out of Camaro. We have a Dark Shrine here actually on the way for Lunif. So that could be pretty deadly. Looks like we have a pretty aggressive push here coming out. 4 Cyclones with some SCVs coming on their way here. Exiled actually is over here as well with a couple Phoenix, but looks like our opponents here do have the superior Phoenix count. That is a lot of Stalkers. 4 Phoenix, those will be super good versus the Cyclones, and they will be able to pick those up and pick them off quite quickly, especially if no high ground vision. Bit of a mistake here actually from Siegfried to push that barracks back, not going to be able to scout the high ground for his Cyclones. And this entire force is pretty much going to get cleaned up for nothing at all. Like 4 Cyclones for a single Stalker, and a couple probes, like, really not worth it. So a bit of a botched engage there. And that was a pretty aggressive push, as that would delay any production here for Siegfried for quite a while. And Now, Exile didn't really lose that much from that, so he has kept most of his units alive. But Siegfried's army is definitely a bit stunted here. So that's a lot of Phoenixes flying around the map, actually. And we do have DTs poking that here at the front. This the Phoenix count for Cameral is pretty good, actually. What are they at now? So it's 8 to 6 Phoenixes. That's always, like, the worst feeling when you're behind a Phoenix. It's like, I definitely don't envy any players in that situation. Because it's just like one of those things. It's like, Phoenix are a unit that you can't really micro in the sense of, like, versus other Phoenix. Like, it just doesn't really work like that. Like, you don't, it just, you know, you're not going to get a super good trade where you can, your 8 Phoenix can take a 12 Phoenix, right? Like, there's not, that's not going to happen. And Lunif and Cameral both situated on 2 fully saturated bases here. Looks like Siegfried trying to take a third. No third base just yet for Exiled. You can see Exiled Siegfried actually playing very defensive from this point. Not really advancing out. And Exiled's Phoenix actually going to get caught out here on the map. And as I said, like, there's not much you can do. Once those Phoenix get caught out, like, they're dead. Once they're in range, they're fucked. Like, they can't do anything. And losing, that was 6 Phoenix I think he lost there? Or maybe, no, 5 Phoenix in total. Lost for, like, 2. That's really bad for Siegfried and Exile here. That's a lot of their fighting force gone. The supplies do look fairly even. But I think that kind of belays what the strength of both these players' armies are. Like, just all these Phoenix are just going to be so good in this game at harassing. They're going to get so much damage done. And even though supplies don't look that different, like, I feel like Cameral and Lunif just have such a tech advantage at this point. Alright, so Phoenix coming in. They're going to pick off a lot of Exiled Phoenix here. You should probably turn my graphics settings down a bit for the next game. So I'm starting to get a bit of lag. I had like 10 minutes. Feels bad, man. Alright, so missile turrets are in the mineral lines here, but that's not going to stop all these Phoenix. They will take a bit of hull damage here, but not the worst thing. And looks like these zealots, sorry, God, that was one of the worst stutters I've ever had in my entire life. They're going to pick away at this debris. All these Phoenixes are on the high ground fighting versus these Marine. Cyclones are lifted up. Not a whole lot here to fight. Exiled and Siegfried going to try to take a fight at the top of the ramp here, but that's a lot of Phoenix and a lot of units here for Lunif and Cameral. And it looks like our blue team will be able to take this game, most likely, as they will pick up all of the Immortals here. And that is a huge amount of the fighting force here for our red team. It was those Immortals, and now with those gone, the Phoenix and the Lunif's ground army here are going to be able to pick off the rest of the units. That was pretty cool, seeing a High Templar getting killed by a Zealot. You don't see that very often. Alright, so it looks like Exiled and Siegfried will barely hold on here, but they lost a lot. Especially all those Immortals from Exiled. And, oh, I have no clue how long that's been happening for, but that is super unfortunate. Alright, so looks like Lunif will be advancing into the natural here of both the red players. And we do have these Phoenix trying to pick away at some of these probes. There's just not many units here to fight at all. Siegfried barely has any bio out. They're going to try their hardest to kite versus all these units, but nothing can be done. And looks like I'm an idiot and said GG in team chat. Okay, so we'll be going on to game 2 of this best of 3. All done from replays. This is not live, in case anyone's unaware of what's going on. Okay, and this time we're actually going to remove our cover image there. Okay, so we have playing on the red team down in the bottom left side of the map. We have our Protoss player exiled. This Terran teammate, who is that was me. It is Siegfried. And up at the top right, we have one of our Protoss players on the blue team playing for a team unrivaled. It is Camaro. With his teammate here from Downfall Gaming, it is Allin. Now, what's going to be going on in this game? So it looks like we have a super early pylon on this side of the map. Are we? Oh, actually we have 2. So 2 super early pylons. Is this going to be a 4-gate? I feel like that's probably what it will be. And even though this is like right outside the bases, this isn't the easiest place to scout. Like, both these players probably aren't going to see this until they push out of their natural. And especially in 2v2, like that's not super common to do. Like you are a lot less inclined to go for those super fast expands in 2v2 because the shred of cheese is so strong, which inevitably makes this specific cheese that much stronger. Kind of funny how that works out. Alright, so it looks like a Reaper fast expand here coming out for Siegfried. And looks like he will see... Oh shit, there's a bunch of gateways on the low ground here. This is bad news bears. Alright. So Lunaf, being pretty smart, realizes that a definite way that this can be stopped is if some SCVs got pulled and they killed that pylon before the Zealots could get out. But it looks like these Zealots will start pumping out here. And they're going to go right up towards the ramp here for Exiled. One Zealot versus one Zealot. They're going to just swipe away at each other. I think this is funny because they don't really get an advantage from that micro at all until that happens. And actually, Exiled not walled in properly. Or I guess, I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. But luckily he does have a Stalker out. We'll have a second one soon, so he should be able to continue to kite. Bunker here at the top of the ramp here for Siegfried. But that's not going to kill or prevent the Zealots from getting in. Alright, so that's 2 Zealots down here. But over in the main base, looks like Exiled is not having a good time versus this. He's losing a lot of his workers. And yeah, it is like, on paper you could say like, oh, as long as you have a Stalker, you can just infinitely kite. But it's like, it's not that easy, especially versus this amount of Zealots. Like, this is a crazy amount of Zealots we have on the map here. They will try their best, and these Stalkers will definitely get their values worth fighting versus all these, but that is a lot of Zealots. Like, okay, so these Zealots are going to push up here onto Siegfried's high ground. A lot of Marines here in this bunker, but that is just a huge swell of Zealots here. And yeah, like these Marines, they can't go anywhere. They have to fight somewhere. The Zealots in the mineral line as well. Looks like Exiled has sent his own Stalkers from his base. Looks like coming in here. They are going to fight all these Zealots together. This looks like a tower defense. But that is a lot of Zealots getting cleaned up. Supplies for Siegfried and Exiled are pretty low, but they definitely have a tech advantage here. As they do have gas being mined, they do have cyber core, they have just a higher tech tree. Like, they have units that they can use, right? Like Siegfried, he has a factory, he has a lot of barracks, and there's also the fact that all their production is on this side of the map. I don't know what the hell I'm doing there. Alright, so it looks like Exiled and Siegfried have just decided to say fuck it and head all the way across the map. We do still have Cameral's gateways powered here. Looks like we're turning back for a sec. Oh, right, because of that one Zella. Alright, so we have the Cyclone and the East Starport on the way here. Not a whole lot of SCVs, and then being produced here from Siegfried. Maybe thinking that this is, you know, the end. And these gateways are actually going to produce some Stalkers here. Not going to be very well... Or not going to be... Or end up very well suited for this world, I guess is what I was trying to get at. Marines here from Siegfried trying to push into the main here. We do have a shield battery, or two of them actually, and some Stalkers here. Going to fight versus these Marines, but it looks like it's actually just out of the way there. Another Stalker will get produced here in just a second, unless those Marines can take it at pylon in time. I don't think that's what's going to happen. Especially if some of these Marines firing at the wrong target. And Lunav actually had to use the shield battery on that pylon. But that will deplete that shield battery, which means that these Stalkers are not going to get healed when Exiled Stalkers pop up. Huge pull on all the probes here. Exiled and Siegfried doing their best here to micro versus all these probes. So this is a tough micro battle here for Exiled as he's to micro versus two players. A lot of damage coming in onto Lunav Stalkers though. Exiled doing a great job pulling away. Unfortunately, we'll lose an extra Stalker there. Maybe that he didn't need to, but at the end of the day, they will get a great value here. Like this is a deal Trump could approve. He's fine with making these deals. So finally, these gateways are empowered. Oh, are these like in the middle of transforming? That's cool. I've never seen that animation before. That is a lot of Marines here with the Cyclone and some Stalkers punching up into Lunav's base though. And we do have a Banshee here as well. Cloak is on the way, but not quite done just yet. Looks like that Banshee will pull itself away here just in time to not get taken out by any of these Stalkers. And not a whole lot of units here at the disposal here, or at disposal for Cameral and Lunav. Really need to quit with the ahs and ums. I always remember in grade school, whenever like you do presentations, teachers would like, you know, they get pissed at you if you said like or ah or whatever, like, and I would always think that was stupid. But now that I'm a functional adult, or arguably a functional adult, I get it now. But anyways, this Banshee here is going to get a lot of kills actually, and no detection here, so Cameral and Lunav, they can't do anything about this, and all these gateways are going to be unpowered. A lot of Lunav's probes have died. Another Banshee here going to pick off a lot of probes. It's going to head into the main base here. And it looks like Siegfried is just opting to go for the pylons here, powering all the buildings. Robo facility is on the way, but this Banshee's almost out of energy. But obviously Cameral doesn't know that, so he's just going to head across the map. We do have more Banshees that's constantly being produced by Siegfried. Still hasn't made any workers. And, oh, Exiled could be boned here. That's a lot of Stalkers. Meanwhile, we have Banshees here just wrecking the middle lines of Cameral and Lunav. And one more Banshee here gonna be at the base here to fight versus Cameral's Stalkers. So even though this looks like a deadly Stalker force, this Banshee is really just gonna, you know, make this not a great trade here for Cameral. He's lost a lot of Stalkers. And looks like those Stalkers will get called all the way home, only to find another Banshee who is still invisible. That one's energy is about to run out though. I'm not sure if Siegfried's aware of that. And that will get just taken out though. But still, 2 probes on the map here, and this Banshee's actually going to kill this Nexus here from Lunif. And without the minerals to remake a base, Lunif will, you know, technically be done in this game. Unable to do anything, really. So I think Camera will realize this here. Their only chance is to go across the map and try to force a victory here with the Stalkers that he has to. Don't know why that Marine's there. But, alright, we do have a bunker on the high ground. Gonna try to fight versus a lot of these Stalkers. Only gonna kill one of them, actually. Don't know what else we have here. It's a Banshee that Siegfried's not controlling. Yeah, there's a lot of Stalkers, but... and actually do have detection here, so these Banshees are not going to be as effective. They just still do a lot of damage, but... these Marines are actually doing a great job tanking for exiled Stalkers. So Stalkers do... They do a lot of damage to other Stalkers. So if you can tank for your Stalkers versus other Stalkers, like, that's a great trade. Alright. Meanwhile, though, we do have 1 Cyclone out. And 1 Cyclone versus 4 Stalkers, I think, is definitely doable, especially with the SCV support here. 1 Stalker going down. There's only 3 more left, and I don't think there's anything else Cameron can do after he loses these Stalkers. That should be it for him in this game. Alright. And it looks like Exiled is still mining here too. Let's not forget about him. And he's still producing probes. Meanwhile, we only have 6 probes here on the entire map here for both our players, and it's just Cameron in this game. So I think, yeah, they realize the writing on the wall. GG is called. And Exiled and Siegfried going to take game number 2, tying this one up. All right. So scores 1-1. Now up here in the top right side of the map, we have in the red our Protoss player here. It is Exiled, along with his teammate, the Terran player. It is Siegfried. Casting myself feels weird, man. And down the bottom left, I guess we should introduce these players again. It is our Australian player from Downfall Gaming. It is Luna. And his teammate here, the team captain for Team Unrivaled, it is Camero. Okay, so pylon down into low ground. Not really going to do a whole lot, as Exile does know what's up. He has pulled a lot of probes, so sorry. And actually a gas steal is super annoying. For the amount of probes that have been pulled here, I definitely feel like that was worth it. As looks like Exile's a bit scared here. And Siegfried always does a great job of walling in correctly. I know where the ramps are, guys. So the mind games here from Lunif are pretty strong, as he has forced out a lot of small mistakes here from Exile. You know, or just not a lot, but a significant amount of lost mining time, and that just kind of puts you a bit on tilt. Even if realistically, like, that's probably only like, you know, maybe 10 or 15 minerals lost. Like, that's still annoying, right? Like, players don't want to deal with that. Alright, so nothing crazy coming out from either side just yet. Looks like Camera will be getting the Stargate this game. A bit reminiscent of our first game, actually. And this looks to be a 2-on-1 here from Siegfried. Kind of interesting how Siegfried's a bit behind in supply from... I assume it's from the 2-on-1 build. I think if I had gone for like a CC first or something and like knew how to constantly make workers, then I might have gotten a bit more supply in this game. But it'll ramp up soon now that the reactor on the barracks is done, and Marines will start popping out. Robo coming down here for Lunith. So not a whole lot to talk about really. Neither side willing to be that aggressive just yet. Both sides kind of going into a macro game. I know when me and Exiled were playing this one, we were talking about what we were going to do for our strategy, and I said, like, I think for our last one, we don't want to, like, gamble and go for an all-in. Because I thought the combined powers of me and macro powers of me and Exiled should be better than the combined macro powers of Camrail and Lunith. So I thought, okay, like, I know Lunith is individually better than me or Exiled, but I thought combined we would be better than them combined. But and so I didn't want to wager it on a an all-in, especially because I feel like that's kind of how our first game got lost. But looks like Lunith and Cameral had a similar mindset going into this one, as they lost the game that they went all in on as well. So despite the name of the tournament, looks like going all in does not give you a significant advantage. Alright, so just looks like macro things are happening. And Siegfried looks like I'm an idiot and forgot to get supply depots. Those are good units. And Cameral just getting a nice fleet of Phoenixes going. And he will be getting charged as well. Actually going for double Stargate. Interesting. That definitely can work, especially versus a Terran Protoss. I feel like if you're going to go double Stargate in 2v2, that's definitely the way you'd want to, or one of the matchups you'd want to go for. As obviously like as good versus a Terran, stops them from dropping. And, you know, it's good versus a Protoss because you can pick up their power units and help your teammate out, especially. And I think the choice of compositions here is really nice from both our players, as they kind of like lend each other to assist. Like, it's almost like they're playing Archon, where one player like Cameron is kind of like the support player, and then we have Lunith, who's just like the macro player. But Siegfried has a decent ball bio out here, so I'm not sure how well that's going to do versus these Stalkers. That's a lot of sentries though, and they definitely can get some good force fields going. Alright, so a lot of force fields going down. Bio got stimmed a decent amount. Does that +1. Not sure what the upgrades are like here for Lunith. What is the upgrade tab? G, right? Yeah, no combat upgrades here for Lunith other than, I think you had Blink. Nope, just charge. But still, Stalkers do a very good job versus Bio in this low of numbers. But that is a lot of immortals, so I definitely don't think that Lunaf can push up here. Where are the Phoenix exactly for Cameralda there? So really nice arc actually at the top of the ramp here for our red team. A lot of these sentries going to get picked off. And it looks like Camera will be trying to get some probe damage done with his Phoenix while this is all going down. So this is really nice way to force the multitasking here of your opponent and just kind of weigh on them like that. Now there's a couple siege tanks on the high ground, so I feel like this is going to make this push from Lunaf a bit harder, but meanwhile we do have the Phoenix riding into the natural here, getting a lot of SCVs of Siegfried, and not getting punished for it as there's no missile turrets anywhere on the map here. I guess there's one, but that's a lot of SCVs going down. Siegfried's down to 40 right now. What did he lose from that? He's lost 22 so far. Probably. So these Phoenix really saving the day here. And Lunaf looks like he's going to drop over there as well. Cameral is continuing to get SCV kills. And there's just so many Phoenix here that unless Siegfried builds like 4 missile turrets on his mineral lines, he's not going to be able to hold versus that many Phoenix. They're just going to be able to get kills wherever they please. And this is kind of what I, like, this game, even though, like, if we look at the supplies, like, it doesn't look that disparaging. Like, Siegfried is actually ahead of Camaro, or even, and Luna's just a bit ahead. But that really doesn't belay, like, where the supply lays. Because Exile and Siegfried both have more workers, but the armies here from Camaro and Lunaf are just so strong. Like, this is a super dominating army here from Lunaf. And also the fact that they have a more harassment options. Like, these DTs are just going to get a shit ton of kills here. Meanwhile, and they're also going to fight here and be able to win, looks like, versus Exiled's army, as Siegfried actually ran into his main to try to deal with those DTs. And Exiled's army actually got picked out by itself there. Going to die to this huge ball of gateway units and Phoenix. Now in the high ground, Siegfried's going to mount his last stand, it looks like, but that is a lot of Phoenix, and they are going to be able to pick up these siege tanks. And looks like this will be the end here for our red team. Now, there's not much I can do from this. Siegfried's lost pretty much all of his workers and all of his army. And GG is called. So Cameral and Lunaf gonna take that game, or take that series. Sorry, 2-1. So we will be getting into our next one shortly. It's just on an old patch, so it has to, like, you know, take its sweet ass time to load. Okay. I guess it didn't load the, one sec. Is there any way to... I think I'm gonna have to quit and then, reload that one. Cause that looked pretty ugly with how the interface was messed up there. I don't know why that happened. Oh, thanks for pointing that out, actually. I'm an idiot. I had my voice muted while I was drinking, and then I forgot to unmute myself. That's okay. I never say anything important anyways. Alright, so anyways, looks like Luna and Cameral's units are going to push up here into the main, killing a lot of uncommon drones. And they have a really nice position in between all these. That Immortal doing quite a lot of work, actually. And Luna, really nice micro, pulling that back in between all the mineral lines there. And these roaches here for Shazampoof are actually just not really getting a whole lot done here. They're going to just fight versus these stalkers on the low ground of Cameral, but with some good micro, Cameral will be able to just push these roaches back. And we have two Immortals here with some Adepts coming down here to help from Lunif, so I think that's going to be the end for all these roaches. They're going to get surrounded and killed. And it looks like that's actually going to be GG. So we'll be going into our second game here once I relog. I always have so many, like, I don't think technical problems, sorry, is the right word to describe that. It's like mistakes, or like forget to, you know, turn my volume back on or forget to do something. I'm a very forgetful person, especially at 9 AM in the morning. Definitely not used to being awake at this time. Okay, so we'll be getting into our second game here shortly. Alright, so sorry. Spawning up here in the red, it is our Zerg player. It is uncommon. And his teammate over here in the green, playing Zerg as well, it is Shazampoof. And they are playing versus our Protoss duo, winners of that last series. Or, well, I guess they did win the last series, and they also won the last set. It is our player from Downfall Gaming from Australia as well, our pink Protoss, Lunif. Along with his teammate here, captain of Team Unrivaled. And the purple, just Camaro. Now, those are some early pools, if you ask me. Looks like a 14 pool from both of them. Or it might have been a 12 pool, I don't know. I wasn't paying enough attention. That is, let's just go ahead and say that is an early pool. We can all agree on that one. Alright, so Lunif actually will scout this off like right off the bat. So that's really nice for him. And it means this is definitely not going to work as well as they thought. Especially with how the ramps on this map are kind of laid out. Like, it's not a very big map. Or a big ramp, sorry. I guess it's not a very big map either. But, you know, if you're going for a 14 pool, and you come over and your opponent's, you know, has their entire wall just ready to go, you can't get in. Sometimes you can just pick away at one of the buildings and kind of, you know, maybe force a mistake and get through, or at least, you know, damage or kill a building. It looks like this is actually going to be followed up by a Baleen Nest from both players. Very interesting. And a bit unfortunate, actually, there from Cameral to spawn that Zealot out on the other side of the wall there. If these Zerglings get that pylon, like, they can get through pretty easily. And Zealot here from Lunif going to come over, and that's going to be nice because it distracts them from continuing the pressure at the wall, meaning the Adept will get out in time. So a lot of Baleens being made though, and that pylon will go down. Cameral does have a probe there, but it looks like he won't be there in time to block that off. They're going to try to go straight for the pylon there. A bit of a missed decision making there, I feel. really should have gone for the units, because now they've unpowered the gateways, but they can't do anything after that because they lost so many units trying to just unpower the gateways. Some probes going down, but at the end of the day, it's just not worth it. We do have more links following this up now, so if they get some good surrounds on these units, they can make this work maybe, but they're really going to have to get some good fights, and for now, it doesn't look like they're taking the fights they need to be taking. That was the weirdest block I've ever seen. So all in all, that was a lot of Zerglings and some Balians in fact, for some probes and a couple adepts. So all in all, I'm really not liking this build. I think this could have worked out. But I think they had a bit of, like, they made one wrong decision when Luna's Zealot came up to attack. And I think the time that Zealot bought won Cameral and Luna's the game. So these Zorians are going to get some good trades versus these Stalkers. And Cameral's actually walled himself in, or had, so I guess he's unwalled himself. He can go out now. The slow Baneling push. Oh, it's a very slight hole in the wall, actually. Gonna allow all these Zerglings to get in. And they're just gonna go straight for the probes, realizing that they really need to go for the throat here, or at least even the game up. And they killed a couple probes, but they lost all the Zerglings for doing so. These ones are still fighting the Stalker, which they're not gonna have a great time versus with that shield battery. And there's enough probes here that they can fight versus the Zerglings and still come out on top. It's the crutch of the Zergling. It's so weak that probes can kill it. It's like, I feel bad for Zerg. All their units are just so inefficient. Meanwhile, we got fucking Protoss here. Their probes are better than Zerg fighting units. Looks like Uncommon has built himself a hatchery here. I think this is just way too late for these players to start joining up from this point, though. It's just not going to work out. The tech here from our Protoss team is just going to be way too strong here. I think as again, like, I thought that could have worked out, but a bit of a lapse in decision making, not understanding where they needed to attack exactly. I like the coordination though with the builds. It's really nice to see when the players are working as a team, as opposed to just two players doing individual macro builds. So this is a pretty sizable force here for Cameral and Luna. It's going to head across the map, and it looks like our Zerg players are both just joining up right now. The only thing they can make here is Zerglings and Banelings, so they're definitely not going to have a great time versus all these gateway units here for our Protoss players. Some Banelings being morphed, but they don't even have Baneling speed. Oh, they're actually being morphed in the Luna space. That's funny. Thought those were being morphed defensively. So at the very least, Luna and Camera will be able to kill these hatcheries on the low ground here. And I don't think there's enough production here to match this Protoss army. And GG is killed, Shazam Poof will leave, and so will Comic. Alright, so that's going to be game 2, going in favor of Cameral and Lunav. Alright, so we're going to be going into our next series, which is also on old replays, so we're going to have to load everything up. Alright. Oh, and this one has team colors for some fucking reason. I really don't know, like, what decides whether or not we have team colors or not. Okay. Because I haven't changed anything, but some games have it, and some ones don't. I'm not going to question it, but anyways. Spawning in the right side of the map here for the red team is our Protoss player. Is Coltaren. Along with his Zerg partner, it is Lenny. Going for an early pool and an early forge. Nice to see. And on the left side of the map, we have our Protoss team in the blue. We have our player from Downfall Gaming. It is Lunav. Along with his teammate, Camero. Now, let's see what we're getting into here. Now, of course, we have a 14 pool and a forge here. So we're going to see a cannon rush. Lunav knows exactly what he's dealing with. As soon as he sees those pylons go down, he pulls the probes. Literally, sorry. Like, as soon as those go down, like, I don't think... Coltaren does not understand the reaction speed of Lunav here. Lunav's probably had this happen to him a good amount of times on ladder. So, this is really not going to work out too well for Coltaren here, but he has been able to get one cannon up and a pylon. Looks like it will be able to cancel that cannon there, but there's still a couple pylons. I think that probe actually died, though, is the issue. So Lenny's a bit caught off guard here. I guess he didn't expect that to happen. Oh wait, is Lunav going for a cannon rush as well? Oh, I didn't even notice this. Oh my god. So we have the incredible multitasking here for Lunav. Not only is he able to defend on his side of the map, killing Coltaren's probe and stopping his cannon rush, but he is able to get his own cannon rush up on Coltaren's side of the map. That is incredible multitasking. This is why this man gets paid money, probably. And we do have some, Zerglings here are going to fight with the probes, but unfortunately there's just enough probes here that they can fight versus most of the Zerglings. And Lunav has walled himself in as well. Lenny looks like he's going to try to go over to Camero's base, knock on the front door, see who's there, and the door's closed. And looks like Lunav will just continue to push his way in. Lenny trying to help out his teammate. Going to try to take out that pylon, but I think that cannon will be able to kill all these Zerglings, actually. Well, I'm glad to hear that, because that's our brand name, okay? We're the Allin clan. That's what we're here to do. I hope they're at least nice about it. Alright, so it looks like Lenny will finally try to take out this pylon again. We'll get this one, but unfortunately for him, there's a pylon on the high ground there. So, this game not panning out very well for Coltaren. And this is also, like, the weirdest, like, setup here. This is gonna turn into, like, the, you know, like, World War I, like, trench warfare with cannons. And Lenny and Coltaren here are just kind of boned, I feel. Like, not much they can do. Like, Lenny has some Zerglings. He wanted to go for that aggression in the early game to help out his teammate who was cannon rushing, but, you know, when the walls get closed, and there's not much you can do. And Coltaren's cannon rush just failed. He still has 3 pylons over here. But I think, these cannons are going to spell the end of the game here for Coltaren. I think Lenny could have maybe gone for something. I would have loved to see Lenny go for like 2 base meta or something like that. Like that would have been great. I don't know what he's going to continue to do from here because like Coltarin's clearly out of the game. There's nothing Coltarin can do. There's no way they clear these cannons efficiently. The only thing Coltarin can do would be to micro this one Zealot. And I guess even if Lenny had gone for mutas, I guess that wouldn't have panned out, as we do have Phoenix on the way here. Actually gone for triple Stargate. Interesting. I'd love to see him go for some horrible 2-base carrier build. Oh, and that cannon's actually in range of the Nexus. That's horrible. So yeah, what's gonna happen from this point? We're just slowly waiting for this cannon to pick away at this Nexus. And Stasis Trap actually over here that hasn't been triggered yet. Interesting. That definitely will not get a very good connection, I feel. Alright. So these probes, they're gonna have to leave home. They do have a new home set up down here that they were able to mine enough money to build. But they're gonna have to wait a bit. That is not something you see every day, a cannon killing a Nexus. Especially like the main Nexus. I just think that's so funny. So like, I feel like Lenny's just been like in perpetual like disbelief. He doesn't know what the hell is going on in this game. His teammate got completely boned. Nothing this teammate could do. Their plan definitely did not pan out very well. But Lenny's still alive. So he can't really like leave. He doesn't want to, you know, leave the game immediately. And it looks like he will actually be going for Aspire. Which is, I thought, would have been a nice move. But now that we see how this game is panned out, like there's 3 Stargates on this side of the map. Plus 1 air weapons. So, look at all these oracles. How are you today? Alright, so all these oracles are gonna come in here and they're gonna kill literally everything at this base. This is great. This game did definitely like, I feel so bad for Coltarin because what can he do right now? Like he's literally just sitting here having to start from square one. Like he had to start with like a HOTS era economy again just to get back in this game. He's finally researching Warp Gate. Lenny finally has speed, but Zerglings and Mutalisks are not going to do well versus +1 carriers. Like, again, like I think the metas were the best option to win a game, but I feel like they came a bit too late. I would have loved to see Lenny go immediately for like, you know, like a 2-base meta play, but unfortunately he just was not able to do that. Wait, we have a carrier on the map, do we? No, it's coming soon. Carriers have a long ass build time, holy. And Beatus versus Void Rays is not something you see every day. So Lenny saves his teammate, stops that Nexus from being destroyed. All Coltarin's trying to do is mine some freaking resources because he has no money and only 7 probes. And these Mutalisks are going to go over here, and they might get a couple probes. But we have some carriers out, and that is not going to be a fun sight to behold as Lenny You never want to go over to your opponent's base with 6 Mutalisks and then see a carrier. And then there goes half of Lenny's Mutas. He will get replenished with some more though. But unfortunately, Mutalisks do not do the greatest of job versus carriers. And GG is going to be killed. Looks like Lenny and Coltern are going to leave. That's going to be game 1 going over to Cameral and Lunaf. They're doing very well in this tournament. Currently in games I've casted, they are 2-0 in series. So it'll just be a minute here. I gotta relog in because these are old replays, which means I have to log in and out every single time I cast a game. It's only slightly annoying, but I'm pretty much used to it by now. I feel like every time I get around to casting any tournament that I've like ran, where it's done on a player's side or player's time, sorry. I always end up casting the games, but then I get busy or whatever, so I don't have time to cast everything as it happens, and then later on cast everything. But by that time, it's there's been a patch, there's been an update. I think the only thing that changed was like the Raven patch, though. So I think that's why we have old replays. It's just because of the Raven patch. Alright, so spawning down here, we have our Protoss player for the red team from Born Gosu, it is Coltern. And in the left, we have his third partner from Allin, it is Lenny. And up here in the top left, in the blue, we have playing for Downfall Gaming, it is Lunaf. With his Protoss teammate from Team UR, this Camaro. Alright, so pylon going down for Lunaf, and actually these players are cannon rushing each other again. Coltern and Lunaf now have a rivalry. Coltern unfortunately not microing his probes correctly here. A lot of them bunched up doing nothing. Now Lenny should see this, obviously, like he has the vision of it. Whether or not he has physically looked at it, we do not know. Now we do have a cannon on the low ground coming down, and actually that probe from Lunaf gets killed off, and links from Lenny are out very early, so they will be able to stop this cannon rush. So it doesn't look like this is going to pan out like last game with cannons killing Coltern's main base. So you know what, Coltern's not in a bad spot. But I don't see any probes on the blue side of the map here for Coltern. So it looks like he's not going to cannon rush. So I guess that forge just does nothing. I guess he can still use it to build cannons. Now obviously Lenny went for, that was a 12 pool I think. So this is going to be tough for Lenny, because he's doing a cheese, but he doesn't have Coltern to support him. Like, Coltern wanted to do that cannon rush, I think, and for whatever reason, he didn't get around to it. I assume he was just so busy dealing with Luna's cannon rush that he just didn't have time. But, so Lenny's by himself here. Can Lenny find some damage, is the question here. He will be able to get this pylon down, and will be able to get into the main base. He does not have speed, and looks like Cameron has a probe ready, gonna block that off. Unfortunately, actually, gonna be able to get into the base here. And oh, that's Luna's base. I thought this was, I didn't check how the bases are laid out. But yeah, these Zerglings actually getting a decent amount of damage, a lot more than I thought they would. Nice hold position there from Lunaf. As you can tell, this man is a professional gamer. Now, finally, we do have Coltern cannon rushing over here, he's going to be able to take out the Forge for Lunith. If he gets... Oh, he does have high ground vision. Oh, that's super cute. Because of that Zelnaga Watchtower. That is the... That's super cool. I love that. I also really like this map. I think it has a very nice aesthetic. You know, it just looks nice. And now that Coltern has cleared the way with his cannons, Lenny's Zerglings will come into play. Unfortunately, there's another wall here, so not really going to pan out that well. But he will be able to get this cannon and this gateway. So you know what? That's something. He's getting some damage done. And Lunith has actually, I didn't notice it, but he has built a base here at the gold right next to Lenny's bases over here. I don't know if Lenny will ever scout that, though. Is that a natural scouting path? Doesn't look like Coltern will see that either. But, I mean, like, all Lunith needs is a couple minutes here, and he will be able to, you know, mine enough money to make this worth it. Assuming he can recall all of his probes from this base to another one. And of course, like, there is that chance that Coltern and Lenny just never see this, and the space goes unpunished. It looks like Coltern and Lenny are actually preparing for a bit of a bust here at the front. We do see Blink on the way. Not a whole lot of units now. We do see Lenny joining up a bit. But they're definitely posturing aggressively. Maybe just hoping to keep Lunith and Camaro back on... you know, on a couple less bases. And it looks like Coltern wants to expand his gold base here too. So actually, funnily enough, our Prowess player is going to be taking gold bases very close to each other. Coltern and Lunith just have that same mindset. Like, they cannon rush each other both games in a row, and then they both get a gold base. Looks like over here we do have these Zerglings here going to pressure the wall here. Going to take it a couple pylons. There's one pylon in the back that will power everything. And that is a lot of stalkers here for Cameron. So I feel like Cameron, or Coltern, sorry, and Lenny can't really overstay their welcome. And we do see an Oracle here from Cameron, going to come into the base of Lenny. No Queen, no Spores. That's a lot of probes going to go down here. And the Lunith still mining off the space. Now, smartly enough too, Cameron will move his Oracle back here into the, you know, dead space on the map. Which is actually, I really like this map. Like, this looks super nice. Like, look at all the destroyed things in the ocean there. Got some carriers, some buildings. You're not a carrier, battlecruiser, sorry, some cars. That's pretty cool. Meanwhile, looks like a couple of Coltern's units got caught in the stasis there. They're going to get a couple stalkers, or sorry, these stalkers are going to get a couple oracles, sorry. But Cameron and Lunith's army is, or rather just Cameron's army, I should say, is looking pretty scary. I don't know what we have from Lunith just yet. He doesn't really have any units there. Looks like he's just going to meme his way straight into carriers. He has Void Rays coming out too, so it looks like it's going to be going for mass air. So it looks like this game will really come down to, can Coltern and Lenny finish this off? Or finish them off, sorry. Now, those links will get some really nice scouting information actually. Did you see the fact that there's so many Stargates? That is a lot of stalkers though. Coltern really has to be careful here. I would love to see him actually just back off, give some ground here. I think Cameron doesn't really know where Lenny's forces is, so he doesn't want to engage too far. What are the upgrades like here? So we have Blink for Coltern. So that is still pretty scary, I guess, if you're Cameral, you don't have Blink yourself. But that's a lot of Void Rays coming down here, and they're using their prismatic alignment or whatever the hell that's called. I think that's... I can't actually see what it is called. But nice Blink from Coltern. We'll be able to get most of his Stalkers out of here. And now they're back down to the low ground where he has some cannons. You know, they're going to put in some damage. But these Void Rays really just turn the entire fight on its head here. And Lunaf actually taking a second gold base, unbeknownst to Lenny and Coltern again. So really, like, they might think, oh, Lunaf's one base carrier, or one base Void Ray even. Actually not even going to bother for carriers this game. But with Team Oli, this is a super good fight actually for Coltern and Lenny. Zerglings and Needless are going to run up here and fight versus all these Stalkers, and there's just not enough units here to deal with the amount of Needless we have here. And even though like they didn't win the fight, they got super good trades. There's a lot of Void Rays going down. If they keep reinforcing this, I think they have a good chance in this game. 20 more Lings on the way, some more Metelisks. If we just get some more Metelisks and some Zerglings, like, I feel like if we have a lot more Zerglings to tank and deal with those Stalkers, then the air army from Lunaf is going to be easily overwhelmed. Plus, Cameral doesn't have Blink yet. So, all these Zerglings are going to be super, super cost efficient here. Looks like we will finally have some of these, Void Rays going down here. A couple Phoenix dying as well. I think Coltern actually just killed one of Lenny's Venus by mistake. So I guess they can't push too far into their base just yet. I think they need to keep taking trades outside of it. Oh, and aggressive Blink there is able to pick off a couple of the Void Rays. Looks like Ludith is just going to transition into Mass Phoenix now, because he realizes that with the threat of the Beetleist on the field, he really can't stay on that Mass Void Ray. The Mass Void Ray was good when it was just Stalkers, but Beetleists do surprisingly well versus Void Rays. It's not an interaction you get to see very often, and Coltern goes to try to expand. He's like, oh crap, Ludith has a base here, and it's almost mined out. But, so, now that they've killed that, like, they should feel pretty confident, like, oh, like, you know, that's where he's getting all this money. But there's this one over here. Now that they've seen the gold base on their side of the map, will they check the other one? Will they think about this? Like, you know, use their brains and say like, oh, well, if he has this one, it's very plausible that he could have the other one as well. Especially for the amount of time that Ludith has had that one. So, nice job there from Coltern. He does pick off a Phoenix. And Ludith is still mining gas over here. That's funny. Alright, another engage there. A couple of the Phoenix getting caught out again. Ludith being a bit too aggressive, I feel, with these Phoenix. They do have a good spot, Cameral and Lunaf. So, like, I feel like, you know, they just need to stay back and defend, but Lunaf being very aggressive. Alright, so we see Corruptors actually coming down here for Lenny. What I really would have loved to see was some melee upgrades, maybe for these Zerglings. Try to get Adrenal, melee, and like armor, probably. And just use those to overwhelm these Stalkers that Cameral has. I don't think... Yeah, Cameral hasn't gotten Blink yet either. I don't know why he hasn't gotten that upgrade. Maybe he doesn't plan on staying on these Stalkers for that long, but he has a lot of them. Like, you know, might as well get Blink. We do see 5 carriers on the way at a time here for Lunaf. I don't know how much money he has coming in, what his income is like. I can't tell who's, so I'm not, that doesn't even matter. So I'm not sure exactly if Lunaf can sustain this carrier production. He, of course, still does have this gold base over here, so that's a lot of money coming in. And he's getting another base over here as well. And I don't think Coltern and Lenny can really deal with that too well. Oh, also interesting, Coltern hasn't gotten the gases at this gold base, instead just using it purely for the minerals. I'm not sure if that was a mistake or not. And Viper's on the way here for Lenny. That's interesting. I'm not sure how. I've never seen parasitic bomb used on carriers. Also, I never realized there was like a spinny thing in the middle of carriers. That's interesting. Alright, so Lenny, he hasn't been producing that many meters. He only has the 8 of them. He is getting upgrades, which I love. But he's going to use these meters to really great effectiveness. They're picking off a lot of probes here. And looks like they will be able to pick off this pylon as well, so that's going to delay some of these carriers. I'm going to try to get out here. I think that was worth it, though, for the meters. I don't think there's much more value that he could have gotten from those at this stage of the game. And we do see Coltern and Lenny, they are aggressively expanding here, realizing that they really need to get their economy in shape if they want to deal with Lunatic Camo. Especially, Camero's been macroing up like a beast. He just has a huge gateway army. He doesn't have that great of upgrades for it, only at +2. Yeah, and charge. He doesn't even have blink for his stalkers. But that amount of zealots is very scary. I don't know what Coltern has. Coltern was +2 as well, so his stalkers are going to be packing quite a punch. And he will be able to blink back here. Alright, so Corruptor's coming out here. They are not targeted on those Corrupt, or on the carriers. Some parasitic bombs going down, but those really aren't doing a whole lot. Corruptors are a tough unit to make work in this matchup, I feel. And this army looks very scary from Camero and Lunith. And looks like that's going to be the end of this one. GG is called. And Camel and Lunith are going to take another series. Okay. Now time to relog again. God bless. Oh shit, Lumia's on flinch now. Okay, so it looks like either of these games were mislabeled or they played a third game for fun, but we're gonna go and watch it anyways. So, Cameron and Luna have already won this series, but looks like they played a third one. I'm assuming it was just for fun. Unless, like, they labeled the wrong games. I don't know who posted them. We'll have to see. But I don't mind. It's 2v2. It's not that competitive. Like, I want to host this tournament for fun, mostly. Like, I thought it'd be a fun way to get people playing. Especially, like, I feel like it gets us more, like, engaged with each other. You know, like, because we have to, not only do we have to pick a partner and play with them, but we have to find, you know, 2 other people to play with and, you know, find times and just schedule around that. So, it's kind of, you know, a nice social thing. But anyways, up here we have, for the red side, here's our player from Born Gosu. It is Coltern. And is their teammate here in the red as well? It is Lenny. And down here we have for Downfall Gaming. It is Lunith. With his teammate. also playing Protoss. It is Camaro. So we'll have to see if Coltern and Lenny win this game. I'm going to go under the assumption that someone mislabeled the replays and accidentally put game 2 as game 3 or something like that. Or maybe they just played for fun, I don't know. But either way, 3 games were played, so we're gonna look at them. And it looks like we have a 2-gate proxy here. Interesting. Don't know how, okay, so he's getting the Cybercore of this. I don't think I've ever quite seen a 2-gate proxy before, so interesting to watch, I guess. I guess we'll see how this pans out. Ludif is chrono boosting out a, sorry, Cameron, my bad, is actually chrono boosting out a Zealot. Don't know if he's going to go down to the low ground and scout that out. Okay, so Coltern has 2 gates at home as well. He's actually chrono boosting out some Zealots of his own. Oh, and then he's getting out some links as well. So this can, I think this can work out quite well. But we do need these Zealots here from Coltern to be at the front. We need all these units together if they want to work in unison together. And that's a lot of Zerglings coming down. So they will surround the Zealot here from Lunif. Now, I think at this point they really just need to choose a player to kill. Like, they have to come in, they have to kill Camaro. Like, if that's who they're going to choose. That was super sick, actually, pulling the, he shades his adepts through, the Zealot in the wall to get behind so he can block that off. That is super cool. I love that. Ludif has just had so many moments where he showcases his big brain plays. And I think I thought this was going to go a bit better, actually, for Coltern and Lenny, but not quite working out. They lost a lot of units there. I thought Lenny had enough Zerglings to assist, but unfortunately, I guess the builds that Cameron and Lunif went for were just safe enough that they were able to survive. Looks like these adepts will get picked off, or at least one of them. Okay, and again, Lunif and Coltern think so much alike. They have done similar things to each other 3 games in a row. Lunif has his own double proxy gateway at his opponent's face. This is just perfect. I love this. I'm gonna write some fanfiction now about Coltern and Lunif. I'm not sure how homoerotic it's going to be, though. Alright, so, unfortunately for Lunif, actually, taking a bit of a bad fight here. These Zealots, not Zealots, sorry, Zerglings are going to tank for all these Stalkers here for Coltern, and a lot of Lunif's units are actually getting picked off. Very unfortunate there. And he's going to lose the access to these 2 gateways as well. So that's a pretty big investment there from Lunif. Saving grace, though, is the fact that Cameron and Lunif are expanding. So, you know, they're not all in on this TM. But Coltern and Lenny do have a pretty sizable force at the moment. I think now's their time to shine. If they go over and attack their opponent's base, I think maybe they can make something work here. We do have speed on the way and a Baneling Nest here for Lenny. Speed's only about halfway done, so it will be done kind of when this goes on. I want to say it'll definitely play into this game. Like, it will have an effect. But this Baneling Nest too coming down. Really nice force fields there from Lunif. Going to block out some of these Stalkers. We do have an Immortal out. So even though they lost a lot of their units, the fact that these Immortals are out here for Cameron is really gonna keep them alive in this game, especially if their access or sorry, their control of that high ground. Now, I think Colter and Lenny can maybe still do something. I think they kind of have to, right? Lenny does have 3 bases actually, so like that's not it's not the end of the world for him. His drone count is still very low though. Alright, so Lunif does have an Oracle coming around here. It is turned on, but no kills as of yet. Looks like we'll take some more damage from that Spore. Pretty low. Ooh, literally 1 HP, wow. Literally. But Lenny and Colter, they did make a pretty big commitment here. Like, they did build a lot of units early on. Colter's base is so delayed. Like, look at the supply, huh? But, like, there's just such a huge disparity at this point in the game. Especially with, I feel like Camaril has been such an anchor to Lunif's play here. Like, Camaril is playing this role of, like, a supporting player. Where Lunif often goes for a lot of these risky or, like, very aggressive or like, you know, kind of like double-edged builds or strategies, and then Camaril is just back to back him up, to help him out. Like he'll be the one who goes for the Phoenixes, and his only job is to pick up units. Or in this game, he's going to be the one who's just going to spam at a lot of gateway units and robo units so they don't die. He's not going to be doing anything flashy. He's just there to keep them afloat, to keep them alive in this game. And Lenny is going to try to take down these rocks here so he can get into the base, but looks like Lunif has spotted this out. And that is a lot of Immortals here, 6 already, and some Archons. That is going to do so well versus their opponent's army. I love that, hallucinating a Colossus. Ouch. Alright, so now these rocks are down, but what's going to happen with this? Now, we do have 1 Disruptor out here for Colter. Oh wait, we have 2 actually. So, you know what? This can still get turned on its head. If those Disruptors get some super good shots, they can kill a lot of Lunif's army. Or Camaril's army, wherever that may be. Relentless Force Fields here are going to prevent them from really getting up here, but those Zerglings did get on top of a lot of the sentries here. Alright, so these Ravagers... Oh, super huge connection there from that Disruptor. Killing a lot of Lunif's army. We do have Camaril's army coming in the flank here. 1 Disruptive Nova is going to be available here from these Disruptors. Can it get a good shot off? This is still going to be super tough. Not the greatest of shots. And both those Disruptors will go down. Looks like Camaril's army will come in here. And Camaril, the anchor himself, he will save them in this game yet again. This has been... I'm really loving Lunif and Camaril's play in this tournament so far. It's just like... They're so coordinated. They know their roles and what they need to do to win. It is really interesting to watch. Like, they show some really nice games. Also, what is with that Archon? Like, it looks like it's like waving. Maybe I just need glasses. Alright, so this looks like it will be the last stand of Colter and Lenny. They do have some, he does have a couple Disruptors, but these big-ass Archons in the front are going to prevent them from getting the shots that they want. Another disruption ball goes off, but Archons and Immortals are definitely not the ideal targets for disruptors. And it looks like they're just going to push right on into the main base here of Colterran. And the Archons and Immortals are just going to rain down on these Stalkers, destroying just about everything. And same thing in Lenny's base here, except a lot less flashy. You know, Luna's taking the easy road. He's just going to kill drones. But it looks like this will be the end of this game. So I guess I just played this one for fun. Which, I think that's pretty nice. They realized that they didn't, you know, they're in this tournament for the right reasons, to have fun. I appreciate that. Alright, so we're gonna log back in again. Alright, going into our next series. I think this one's going to be my last series. I don't think I have too many more to cast that I currently have access to anyways, so this is most of them. We got most of them done. Alright. So spawning down here, we have playing for the red team and for Born Ghost Suit. And just Colterran. And in the bottom left as well, we have in the red from Allin. It is Lenny. And up here, we have in the top right in the blue, we have our Zerg combo. It is uncommon. With his partner over here, Shazam Poof. And I am so glad. I love that. Shazam said good luck, have fun twice. In Allied chat. I am not the only one who makes that mistake. I do that every time I play 2v2. Whenever I try to say GG or good luck, have fun, I'll just type enter, type away, and then go, oh crap, that was an Allies chat. My opponents didn't see that. And then, I feel like that's what happens most of the time in 2v2s when people leave without GGing. It's just, they did GG, but it was an Allied chat, so you can't see. Alright, so what is Colterran going to go for this game? I feel like Lenny has not made more than 2 drones a game in his entire tournament career. He just goes for an early pool like every single game. I love it. Oh, it looks like Colterran stole some of the gas here from Uncommon. Or stole a gas. He didn't literally steal the gas, but he stole the gas in. And that Bailey Nest coming on the way here for Lenny. Couple adepts coming out for Colterran as well. So I guess we're just going to be a bit aggressive here. I'm not looking to end the game, but just, you know. Or I guess maybe Lenny is. I'm not sure if Colterran is. Alright, so finally speed is done for Lenny. So if he can just keep running in and out and picking fights where he thinks he can win them, like that'll be really good for him. But it looks like he actually might get locked into the base here if these lings from Shazam follow up behind. But it looks like Lenny will take a good fight there again. Gonna realize he has number superiority and take a fight. And I really like the add-ups with Zergling support here. I think it's super good. There's some Banelings on the way too, so that can be super good at dealing with, you know, everything that Shazam and Uncommon have at this point, excluding Queens. But Shazam with a really nice flank there was able to take out 2 of those Morphine Banelings. We do have 1 Baneling still here, so that's still going to be very deadly. If Uncommon slips up, that can kill all of his Zerglings or damage a lot of his probes, or drones, sorry, and a lot of them do get damaged there. That was a really nice connect, actually. And that's really going to force Uncommon into a bad spot this game. He's down to 9 probes. Or drones. And that was a pretty decent trade. I feel like at this point, Lenny and Coltarian should feel comfortable. Like, okay, we got our damage that we wanted done. We're okay now. Like, sure, Lenny's not in a great spot, economically. Compared to, say, Shazam Poof, but he's better than Uncommon, for the most part. Like, he has some more drones. But it looks like Shazam and Uncommon they're not gonna take this one sitting down. They are bringing their own lings here. I also love that they each have a different skin on. That's really nice to help me distinguish whose lings are whose. But Shazam is getting +1 melee. It's not quite done just yet, but we do have some Banelings from him coming up here, and they're going to get super great connects on all the Adepts and all the Zealots there. And really, Coltarian's units just were not in the right spot. Huge amount of Baneling connects there coming down from both sides. And even though Shazam got some really great Baneling connects, I'm not sure if that was what's going to win in this game. They do have more lings following this up, but Lenny's producing his own lings. So, I'm not quite sure how this is going to pan out. Now, really the anchor for Red Team in this game is the fact that Coltarian has 2 bases and he has a good probe count. Now, as long as Coltarian keeps macroing up, I think they're going to be in a good spot. And I think the onus here is, because of just kind of the way that Shazam and Uncommon have decided to play, they really need to just straight up kill their opponents sometime before Coltarian gets towards his higher tech. Like, I feel like once Coltarian gets a Warp Prism and some Archons out, or anything like that, they're like Uncommon and Shazam don't have a chance. But if they can still take fights when all they have is Gateway units and Ling Bane, I think Uncommon and Shazam can take this. But it's still going to be tough. Looks like they have found their way into the main base, actually. Going to pick away a lot of these pylons here. A lot of Banelings and a lot of Lings are coming in here. Really nice pullback there. A couple of these Banelings not getting good connects here from Lenny, but there's enough units here from Coltarian as well to make this worth it. To make these trades even for Lenny and Coltarian. And of course, Shazam and Uncommon, looks like Uncommon has been droning behind this, so they are able to afford to lose some of these units. Whereas, for example, Lenny's can't reinforce as easily as Shazam or Uncommon, even though he might have this superior numbers at the moment. But it looks like a lot of these Banelings not going to get great connects here from Lenny, and a lot of these units are going to get surrounded here from Coltarian. He's going to use some force fields to try to get some better ground here versus these Lings, but that's a lot of damage done to his force, and Lenny has lost pretty much all of his units. And meanwhile, Shazam and Uncommon do both have 2 to 3 bases here. Shazam's on 3, Uncommon's only on 2. But they do have a decent drone count, so they can keep reinforcing, and they're not going to run out of money or as quickly as, say, Lenny might. Like, Lenny's income is just not that great here, like, as you can see. It's just not much of an income at all. Oh, that's why. Lings are in his base. That's why his mining's so little. I'm like, wow, you only mine 500 minerals a minute with like 20 drones? Wow. Alright, so huge Bentley connects hitting a lot of Coltaran's forces here, but some sentries are going to force field off the villains on the high ground there. And this is panning out really good for Shazam and Uncommon. I think they're going to be able to take this game here. Coltaran was not able to advance up the tech tree here. His economy was disrupted a bit at the start of the game. Lenny's economy has been completely destroyed by these links here from Shazampoof. And I don't think there's anything they can do to prevent this huge swell of Zerglings. I really like how I separated those words. Like, I didn't mean to, but I said it as Zerglings, not Zerglings. Alright, so another big engage coming down. A lot of Zerglings getting really great surrounds on these adepts. And uncommons, Lings, I'm not sure if they have any upgrades. Shazam's have +1, so Shazam's Lings are going to be wrecking face here. But there's not enough adepts here from Coltaran, and looks like GG is going to be called. Lenny is going to tap out. And Shazampoof and Uncommon taking that first game. That was pretty back and forth. I quite enjoyed that one, actually. It was maybe a bit more even than some of the other games we've had. That's the thing with 2v2 though. It's always hard to find like even teams. But I kind of think that makes it a bit interesting too. Alright, so on to our next game in this series. Alright. Oops. I'm not looking at my game. Okay. Oops. Alright, so up here, or rather down here, in the bottom right side of the map, we have in a red playing for Bongosu, and the red team, it is Coltaran. Jeez. And we have this teammate over here from Allin, it is Lenny. And up at the top, we have our two blue Zergs, both from Team Allin. It is Shazampoof. Oops, and Uncommon. Our two newest managers, actually. Funnily enough. Well, I'm not sure what Coltaran is saying exactly. Alright, so early pools from both Shazampoof and Uncommon. So we'll have to see what they do with them here. Now these weren't 12 pools by any means, so I think they're above 14. So, you know, what they can do is just build 6 lings, head across the map, try to kill a base, and then, you know, be fine with what they've done. But they also can, you know, if they feel like it, just go for mass lings. It doesn't look like that's what's going to happen, as we do see Shazam Poof adding on extra drones. Looks like Shazam Poof's lings are going to come in here into the main base, and it looks like instead of getting the base, they want some drones. And 3 drones picked off so far, going to make that 4. This has been really good actually for Shazam Poof, sorry. He's just going to continue to be able to take super good trades. I think Lenny is not reacting appropriately here. He needs to, he should have waited for those first lings to come out and then attack with all of his drones. But the longer this goes on and the longer he tries to run the drones, the more damage Shazam is getting. And Uncommon's lings, looks like they're a bit late to the party here. But they're going to show up to help. Queen goes down from Lenny actually, and Lenny might actually just be dead in this game. He's lost so many drones. And Coltern loses 1 Zealot here. And looks like he might lose the second one. Just barely goes down. Lenny is really on the back foot here. But we do have an Oracle being produced here from Coltern. Can they get some damage done with this? I think will be the question. Like, Uncommon and Shazam are still on fairly low drone counts. They did manage to almost kill Lenny. He does have a natural. Let's keep that in mind. But Shazam and Uncommon both do as well. So it looks like Shazam and Uncommon have made a call. They're going to try to kill this hatchery. Further, you know, they're on the fuck Lenny train, as we've seen many times before. Alright, I should stop boxing units. That doesn't look great. So Lenny getting screwed again, losing a lot of his units. And it doesn't look like these lings will be able to get through. It is crazy how well a shield battery can... oh, and I actually didn't get to catch this Oracle, but it did get 5 kills. I'm going to assume most of those are drones. But Lenny getting... Lenny is just not having a good time this game. He's getting absolutely fucked. He's losing every single drone, only 1 left. That's the last one that Lenny has, and it is gone. He doesn't even have enough resources to build another one. Lenny is just done for. And that Oracle didn't do the damage that they needed it to get done. I feel like if Coltern got like 10 drone kills with an Oracle, that would have been great. They could have found their way back into this game somehow. But Lenny just getting screwed, and Coltern is losing units trying to defend him. He's just... This is going to be a tough one. If Coltern wants to... I guess I don't want to say wants to, but... If Coltern can come back, he's going to need to do a 1v2. And that's going to be tough, especially we have Hydralisks on the way here for Shazam. So Lenny is completely dead here. I wonder what happens in 2v2 if you lose. Wait, okay, never mind. So Lenny has drones. And he's going... Okay, so it looks like... Oh my god, no. No! Somehow these lings get away. Or these lings don't notice the drones. The drones get away. No, Shazam noticed them. He's going to get them. These poor drones, all they wanted to do was build a base. And Coltern even gave Lenny some money to build one. Looks like Uncommon accidentally rallied some drones over here. That's a sizable amount of adapts though that we have for Coltern and some Oracle support with those as well. We gotta remember too that Coltern he has mostly kept his units alive this game. He has bled a decent amount of them trying to help Lenny out. Like lost 4 adapts and 2 zealots, but the amount of lings lost for Uncommon and Shazam has been pretty insane. Trying to kill Lenny, which I guess not trying to. They literally did kill Lenny. I don't think he has. Yeah, Lenny doesn't have any buildings on the map at all. I was actually wondering how that would affect. Like, does it? It doesn't kick you out, I guess, because obviously your teammate's still here. This is a sizable force though from Coltern. If it gets surrounded though, like by all these lings, I definitely feel like this will be the end for Coltern. And Hydras on the map too. Hydras are just so scary when all you have is gateway units, especially Adepts. Like Adepts do well, like damaging Hydras, but they're just like they take so much damage from them as well. And Recall actually coming down, but he is going to lose a couple of these units. And we do see, looks like Uncommon is going to try to bust up this ramp here. There's some sentries here to force field. No force fields going down just yet. Another Adept going to get picked off here. And these Oracles are going to start picking away at a lot of these Banelings here. So these Oracles are getting something done. But the Hydralisks here from Shazam are definitely the worrying part of this game for Coltern. As they will pick off one of the Oracles, the other one barely living there. And it's going to be hard for them to break this position here for Coltern, but at the same time it's like Coltern, he can't do anything but sit there. Don't try it. I love that. that was really good. Coltern has a great sense of humor. Alright, like, I mean, Shazam and Uncommon can't just keep racking their heads against the wall here, whatever the hell that saying goes, and try to bust up this ramp. They can also tech up to Broodlords or something if they want to, you know, end this the safe way. But it looks like they're just going to head right in. Baneling's connecting with a lot of the buildings there mostly. And it looks like some Zerglings will flood in. Really nice position here for Coltern versus all these Lings. They're just getting shredded by these Adepts. And this is the beginning of the throw. These Adepts do have glaives, so they're firing pretty quickly, and they're killing a lot of these units here. So that could have been the beginning of the throw, I guess, but I don't think Coltern has enough. He can't build any more Adepts actually because his Cybercore got killed. He's even supply blocked as well, so Coltern has to win the game with these Adepts. He's going to try his best here, but that is a lot of Hydralisks. I don't think there's any way that he is able to take those out. So Coltern is going to back off for now. Maybe try to expand? I'm not sure. Like, he's almost mined out here. He doesn't have much minerals left on his main base. Okay, so he's going to try to expand. You know what? If he can delay this game for like 40 minutes and get out mass carriers with Storm off of 2 base somehow, you know what? I believe he can do it. I'm sure he can find a way to do this. With perfect force fields, like... I don't see Don't see a hive just yet from either of these players. So letting service it from patronage. I guess we're just gonna keep quoting Star Wars. That's a lot of banelings from uncommon. And it looks like both of them are actually supply blocked right now. They're both building 5 overlords, that's funny. So finally Coltarian is mining off this natural here. I would love to see him just pull as many probes as he can from the main to mine off of here. Because realistically he has to think that he needs to mine as much of this as he can, as quickly as he can. Love to see him put down gases right away too, even though he is floating a lot of gas. I think he just needs to soak up as many resources as he can if he wants to have any chance of winning in this game somehow. But this Zerg blob is pretty intimidating. That's a lot of banelings. Holy fuck. How many banelings is that? 47 banelings from uncommon. I would have loved to see like a baneling, like baneling drops with a lot of overlords. I think that would have been pretty neat. It'd be like, not sure if anyone remembers the Pro League game where Rogue went for baneling drops. I think he was playing versus CGA Hero. He went for baneling drops and like destroyed like a huge army of his. I think that was... I remember it was Rogue that did it. I can't remember who did it too. But that was sick. And some Sisters Wards are going to prevent these banelings from coming in immediately. A lot of hallucinated Colossus here. Going to try to tank some of these baneling shots. I love the attempt. But unfortunately these banelings are just going to roll in and destroy absolutely everything. Banelings running up the ramp. And they're just going to break down everything. I was hoping they would stay in the game just to watch the banelings blow up everything. But... Shazam Uncommon going to take that series 2-0. And that's going to be it for me today. Voice is starting to get a bit sore. I never cast for too long. Especially like, it's hard to like try to enunciate as much as you can. Anyway, so I guess I better get going. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Appreciate all the people watching. Make sure to hit that follow button. XD. Have a good day, everyone.